I cannot wait for the World Championships. Okay, so we love our producers. They work hard for us. They're amazing. They also feed us to the wolves because Aaron Brown, they want us to do a prediction for some of the most compelling, the most contested competitions, races of, and you know how I feel about predictions. Anyways, thank you. Whoever had this genius idea. We love it so much. Okay, men's 100. Avi, do I have the pleasure of going first, or would you like to go first?
Yes, please. You start off the madness, because this is hard for me, right?
Yeah.
Not only am I a competitor, but I have my teammates.
True.
I gotta be fair. I gotta use logic.
This is
I gotta be
true.
balanced. It's a lot of mental gymnastics. So you go first. I'll get my thoughts ready.
Okay, whatever we do, we're gonna do it with our chest. Okay, so I had to write everything down. So my pick for the men's 100 is Kishane.
Okay.
Silver, Noah, and I'm giving Oblique the third, and he better not piss me off. So, and I say that because Oblique always fourth, great on the season and gets the championships in fourth. I think he's gonna put it together. I also know it is so stupid and ridiculous to bet against Noah, but I want no beef with our Jamaican fans, so I'm putting Kishane number one, and I actually do believe he can do it.
Okay. The Jamaican fans are gonna be happy with me on this one. And as much as it pains me to say, I have two of my teammates, Courtney Lindsay and Kenny, in there, but I feel like they're better suited for the 2 this year. The 100 is just so tough. And
yes.
Kenny's been on fire. He ran 9.7. Courtney ran 9.82. But I just like Oblique in the way he's been looking. I know the only reason why most people don't have him as their pick to medal or even to win is because of the past. But if you throw that out, if you just go on this season alone, it's hard to pick against Oblique. I mean, the other thing would be him beating Kishane finally, because every time he lines up against Kishane, he hasn't gotten the better of him. I just feel like Kishane's going to be so fixated on trying to beat Noah that Oblique might slide past and take the gold. And he's looked great against Noah. I'm just going to ride with it. And I know it's a hot take to some, and I would love to ride with my boys and pick Kenny to win, like I've been doing all year on trackside, but I'm going to try and be objective on this one. So I'm going to go Oblique winning. I'm gonna give Noah the silver, and Kishane the bronze. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, and I don't feel great about it. I'm gonna be honest.
I agree.
I might change it up about 100 times after we finish this recording, and wish I said something different. But I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, let's talk about the 200 meters. And by the way, folks, we are going to look back, like in our wrap show, post show. We'll talk about that later. But we are going to look back at these predictions and see where we squared up, like who had more right, who had more wrong. Okay, men's 200 meters then.
All right, so this one, obviously, I'm in this event, so I'm going to take myself out and assume, obviously, I'm not going to go with myself for gold, silver, bronze, because I'd love to do that. I'm going to go with Noah to win this. I'm going to say that he gets his revenge after the 100, after he loses that title, comes back and wins the 2 again. I'm going to go with Kenny silver and Tobogo third.
Okay, very interesting, very interesting. I know you can't pick yourself for sure, and so we are biased, so we'll do away with that. So mine is Noah, world number 1. Like, it's kind of an easy pick. Letsile, Tobogo, and then I have Kenny for bronze, which feels a little bit controversial for me to have Kenny, who's been undefeated, well, except for Noah, for bronze, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up between those 3, and you got Brian Lavelle, who ran 19.6, so you can't count him out, but I just feel like these 3 are proven. And Kenny, I would love to pick him to win. I just feel like Noah just has a knack for running people down at the line. And I can't ignore that, as much as I'm biased and I love my boy Kenny and I want him to get that dub and I want to throw Courtney Lindsay in there, to mix it up for that bronze. I just have to, again, try and not be biased. And maybe this is going to be the fuel to the fire that pushes Kenny over the top. He's like, AB, what are you doing? You're my boy. You're supposed to pick me for the win. And I want that to happen. I want to be wrong. But, I just got to call it like I see it.
I feel you. When I saw Noah with that new hair, I kind of was like, I got to pick Noah. Okay, moving on to the women's 100 meters. You want me to go or are you going to go?
You go. We're back and forth. Tennis.
Oh, yeah, that's tennis. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Julian Alfred, duh. I'm St. Lucian. But I'm also applying and looking into like Canadian citizenship by descendancy. So if they see me not picking her for number 1, I don't want them to delete my file. But it's definitely by heart, Julian anyways, okay? Like, I'm not going to lose that passport. And then Melissa for second, which feels counterintuitive in a way because this woman is on a roll. She has momentum. She's a 10.6 versus a 10.7, which is, you could put a piano between them based on that time difference. But I gotta go with Julian because my heart is like, she's so upset about being second fiddle to Melissa Jefferson winning that's gonna propel her. And for bronze, again, do I go with heart? Do I go with stats? What do I go with? It's between Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. She always finds a way for bronze. She's gonna find a way. Or do I go with Kayla White, 1084 world number 5, just younger, springier? I don't know. But it's between those two. I know I'm kind of hedging my bets. What say you?
Okay. I got Melissa winning, and I love to pick this one because I had to go against my homerism with Star Athletics in the men's event. So in this one, I can double down and make up for that. So I'm going Melissa with the win. She's been on fire all year. She's running 10.6s so easily. She's in the zone, and I really feel like she's on pace to go 10.5. I predict her going 10.5, like about 10.59, 10.58 around there. Assuming there's no torrential rain or headwinds or anything crazy like that. I think 10.5 is on the books for her. And I think Julian comes in second with probably a 10.6 mid. I think she'll PR as well. It's just that race in Prefontaine, man. I can't get over it. Melissa was hot, and the only thing that wasn't improving was how she would do it with people with pressure right beside her, and she handled it swimmingly. She just kept doing her thing. Yep. Julian was on her neck, and she said, "Nah, this is my time." And I think it's gonna be the same story in Tokyo. And then for bronze, I'm gonna go with Kayla White. Again, another one of my training partners, and I just feel like she has more motivation, more than anybody else. I was thinking about Tina Clayton. She looks good, but I feel like Kayla has something to prove. She missed all of last year because she had an injury, and I think this year she just wants it all. So that's my podium.
Okay. The fact that you're leaving a GOAT out of the medal conversation, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
I would love to. I'd love to, but she's had such a great career, and I think just her making the team is an accomplishment on its own. I'd love to see her get another medal just to end off on a storybook high, but that's not.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
This is not a
bronze.
fantasy book.
Aaron Brown doing all this talking. Jamaican fans in the comment, please. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Just saying.
Hey,
all right.
I'm the biggest Shelly-Ann fan there is, but I gotta call it like I see it.
That's true. I have to give you a hard time. This is my last show with you. I have to give you hell.
I know.
Okay. I'm gonna miss you. That's why. Okay, we gotta talk women's 200. 200.
Yep, women's 2. Okay, so I actually feel like Julian is the favorite in this event because she's been doing 400. She's been doing 3s. She's looked really strong all year. She's been the faster athlete versus Melissa and the rest of the field. She ran 21.70. 21.71 this year into a headwind, so she's looked really strong. I almost want to pick her. No, I'm going Melissa again. And I think it's going to go to the line. Yeah, I'm a homer, but I just feel like when you have that momentum, it's going to carry you to it. She really wants to get it done, and I'm going to pick Melissa to win. Julian's going to be nipping at her heels, and it's going to the line. Bronze, that's where it gets tricky for me. I'll go Brittany Brown.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a silver medalist last year at the Olympics. She's a really strong clutch performer. She got that Diamond League win back-to-back. She got it last year. Won Athlos as well, so she beat the Olympic champion last year, Gabby Thomas. I just feel like she's a gamer, and, she had to claw her way to get on the team, and she's not going to do that in vain. She momentarily had that dream ripped away from her where she wasn't on the team, and then, had to go do it the hard way, earn her spot, and I just feel like now she's got the momentum on her side. And don't sleep on Dina Asher-Smith as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go.
Now you're going to fourth territory now, Aaron Brown.
No, I got Dina for fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, for fourth. Okay. When we were talking offline, sir. Okay. When we were having our production meeting, you were actually team Julian for 200. Now, suddenly on camera, you're switching up on me, talking about Julian's doing all this 400 meter work, 200 meter work, 300 meter work. She's undefeated. Yeah. Now look at yourself, Aaron Brown. Yeah. Explain what happened in 24 hours, sir.
I just, like I said, sometimes when it's just your time, it's your time. And I just really feel like Melissa's going to get that double. I don't feel great about that either. I feel really strong about the 100, and I would be willing to put money on it.
What do you feel good about?
In that 2, I feel like Julian could get her there. That's where she's a little bit more vulnerable, and Julian does look really strong. But like I said, momentum's on her side, and I'm just going to go with Melissa.
You didn't answer my question, but I feel like you're answering these under duress, and it's so hilarious to
I know.
Because you don't like doing this. I can tell. Not for all these events. Okay, let me give you mine. I do have Melissa winning the 200 meters. And then I have Julian for second. and Brittany Brown or Mackenzie Long for third. Sorry, no, my bad. I misspoke. Sharika for third, although she's 13th ranked, but I mean, her pedigree says all. And then Brittany Brown or Mackenzie Long, but I'm going to lock in Sharika. But let me say something quickly.
I feel like you just don't want smoke from the Jamaicans.
No, I don't want them to cook me.
You got Sharika, you got Shelly.
Want
These are like fan favorites, you know.
Yeah, I don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke.
Yeah. You're scared.
No, I'm scared. No, I'm not. No, the truth is, for me, I go with stats. No, I'm not going with stats if she's 13th. Duh. But I also go with pedigree and what you've done before. And as a champion, when your back is against the wall and you've been there before, you're not scared. They're not afraid. Let me. I need to back something up. Okay, and this is. Again, me playing psychologist, but here we go. This is just what I do. Women's 200 meters, the complexion of that race for me will change based on who wins the 100-meter title the days before, right? But you had me thinking, actually, Julian Alfred has been running all these early seasons like 300, 400. She's undefeated. And I think that's helped her last like 50, 75 of that 200, which I've always felt was really scraggly. Like, you know those loose ends of hair that people don't like to cut because they're scraggly? Yeah. I felt like that was the part of her. It was just like a little girl. And she snipped it and she's gotten it tight and right. And so now I actually think she might be a problem. I don't know if I've answered it, but I don't know now. Now I'm second guessing if I should go with Julian.
You're just as confused as me. This is tough.
Confusion is high.
Yeah, these events are hard to pick.
This is hard to pick. You know what? St. Lucia, Julian first, because I want that passport. Okay, now let's go by descendancy. Okay, let's move on. What are we doing next, guys?
Men's 400-meter hurdles.
Oh, gosh. Dang it. Why are we doing this? Men's 400-meter hurdles. Do I go or you go?
Well, you got. I think it's on you now.
I'm going to go. My goodness. They're setting us up, eh? They're going to. Okay.
I know.
So I'm going to just take the bandit off and go. There's three people that are going to get the medals. To me, there's Rye, there's Karsten Warholm, and there's Alison DeSantos, friend of the show, who's been on our show. Hilarious. Go back and watch that episode. So if you asked me this before I saw Karsten the last maybe 2 races, I would be like, oh, Rye, all day. When I saw Karsten Warholm, you were better than me at knowing where they last raced because it's all a blur to me. Okay, Celestia. That's why we have producers. Yes, 46-28. When I saw him do that, it reminded me of me seeing him in 2017 when he first came on the scene. I believe it was London. And I was like, and he has that again. So, but where's Rye? Rye's somewhere cooking though. Rye is cooking and he's gonna have something. So that's my answer. So Karsten, Rye, but it's gonna be close. And then Alison DeSantos.
Okay. Well, we actually agree. I have the exact same podium. And, you know, Rye is one of the greatest talents out there.
Facts.
You know, if this was a flat 4, I would go Rye all day. But something happens when Karsten gets over those hurdles. He is just a different beast. And he's got that look in his eye. Like, he lost the Olympic title last year. And he is pissed. Like he said, he looked mad. That 46.2 that he ran in Celestia was super impressive. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Rye's PR is 46.2. So only Karsten has gone faster. And he's gone 45.9. Let's not forget that. So he has that in his legs. I just feel like he's going to go to a zone where Rye can't quite get there. And I believe he'll be able to PR again.
I agree.
I just don't know if it's enough to beat Karsten.
I agree.
And it pains me to say that. I would love to see Rye get another title, you know, fellow USC Trojan, but I just got to, I got to roll with the Viking. And then, of course, DeSantos will be in the mix. But again, you know, Karsten can go somewhere that nobody else has been able to go. All right, women's 4. Oh, I love this event so much because, you know, you got Sydney, you got Paulino, and you got Nasser, who just won 48.70. So you can't sleep on her. Before it looked like it was going to be Paulino versus Sydney, but Nasser says, hey, don't forget about me. This is going to be one of the best races of the entire championships, and I can't wait to see it because it's going to set a lot of debates. And I'm not wavering. I'm going with Paulino. I'm sticking with it. I'm going with Paulino for the win.
Consistent. Wow.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Paulino. I'm going to give Sydney the second silver, and I'm going to go Nasser bronze. I think Nasser's going to go out like a bat out of hell.
And pay for it later.
I don't think it's going to be enough to hold on, but she could. That's the crazy part. She could hold on. That strategy could work. We've seen it before in Doha where she held on and ran 48.1. I just don't know.
You feel good about this one, friend? You feel good about this prediction?
I don't feel good at all, no. I'm doing so many mental gymnastics. I'm like, is this really what you want to say? But yeah, I'm going to 10 toes down it. Paulino for the win, Sydney for the silver, Nasser for the bronze. And we might see a 47.9.
Yeah. Oh, 47.9 is nasty. Okay, so we have the exact same strategy. I'm not going to tack on more. I'm not going to add on more. We have the same exact strategy. I think Sydney is not experienced enough. However, her
Yeah.
coach is the legendary Bob Kersey. And if anybody can get it
Yes.
right, I mean, it's
Yeah.
Bobby Kersey. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with My Lady. I think you're right. I think Salwa is going to go out too hard and she's going to pay
Mhm.
for it later. They're going to put a piano on her back at like 375 and she's going to go backwards and then it's the end. So that I agree. I agree with
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay, men's
Eight.
800. Thank you for keeping me straight because I'm just shook about doing all these predictions.
You're good,
You
you're
know, I
good,
don't
you're
do
good.
predictions. Okay, men's 800 meters. Okay, let me write down my notes. I have my notes here. And this was hard, but I have Wanyoni for first,
Okay.
world number 1. And then I have Marco for second. And then I have, this is hard. I'm between Coop, the 16-year-old, who's not even 17 yet
Wow.
till December. I know. Or, because his best is 6th in the world. And then I have a Max Bergen of the UK, who was second
Okay.
in Zurich and who's 7th in the world. Now,
Yeah.
I want to hear what you're going to say before I lock in my third. But those are my first two. Marco Silver, Wanyoni first. Who do you got?
We have the same first two. I'm gonna go Wanyoni for the win. I want Marco to get it.
I do too,
But I just feel
100%.
like Wanyoni is just.
Locked
It
in.
just feels like it's his year. Yeah, he's locked in.
Yeah.
He's in his zone. He's been
I
winning
agree.
everything. It's gonna be tough, and it's gonna be a super fast race.
Yeah.
I got Marco for the silver.
Same.
Despite what all the other platforms are saying, where they got my boy off the podium. That's just crazy talk. This is
Disrespectful,
Marco
yep.
O'Rourke we're talking
Come on
about.
now.
And then for bronze, I'm gonna go Donovan Brazier. I think,
Oh.
this is his comeback story, and I think that he's gonna have that signature kick. And I like him for that bronze. I was thinking about Max Bergen. He looked really good. Almost
Yeah.
dethroned Wanyoni for the win in Zurich.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go for Donovan Brazier. Sometimes you just gotta go with narrative. When it's close, you just go with narrative and who has the
That's
most
true.
momentum. That's what's been leading a lot of my picks because I don't really feel
true.
great about a lot of these
No.
picks. But
No.
I'm like, momentum wise, okay, they got it. Like Oblique, he beat Noah twice. He was running away with it. He ran 9.8 in the rain. Yeah, no momentum says yeah, he's got it. So again, Wanyoni, Marco, Brazier.
I'm going to lock in the 16-year-old. Based on inexperience, this guy doesn't even know he's in like the fire. He doesn't even
Right.
know what he's about to do or where he's going. He doesn't even know how to put a singlet on. I'm just joking. I'm teasing. He's never worn one. Meaning the bib. But I'm just saying, I just think when you were so like inexperienced, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is great. I don't think he has anything to fear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that in there.
That is great. He's on the other side of the world. I mean, he might be up in the middle of the night when it's race day. Might not get any sleep. This
The
is the
jet
biggest
lag?
race. Yeah,
Jet lag.
I mean, he's like a LeBron James type talent in high school. But wow,
This is
if he pulls that off, that's wow.
This is true. We're going to roll back the
Anyways.
tape.
Let's go to your event, the women's 100 meter hurdles. I believe it's my turn. So
Yep. Who you got? This
I
is
wanted
hard.
to
This is
say Masai.
impossible.
This
Impossible.
is very hard. This is very hard. Even
Yeah.
choosing this in Diamond Leagues races, this is hard.
Yes.
But narrative says Masai Russell.
Yeah,
She's been
that's
winning. She's been very consistent. She's run some of the fastest times we've ever seen this year. She ran the American record 12:17. She ran a 12:19. She ran a 12:22 to win nationals. But I'm giving her the silver. I'm going with Akira Nugent to win.
Man. Okay.
Akira Nugent looked really good last year, coming off of the Olympics when she didn't win.
And you've seen enough from her on the circuit?
strong.
You've seen enough on her on the
I
circuit
just
to
feel like
believe
she-
this?
I do. I think she's gonna put it together and run like a 12-2 mid, like a 12:24ish, 12:25 around there.
Love that.
I got Masai for second. She's gonna lose it on the line, and then I got Grace Stark for third.
Oh, who's on the line? Okay, good picks. Okay, so my pick, Lord. Here we go. I don't want to answer. I don't want to
You
answer.
threw, you threw out the disclaimers. Now you gotta drop some spicy.
I did. Okay. I'm going with Masai Russell because how do you bet against a 12-17, 12 this,
know.
12-teen, 12-teen world number one? I just can't. For me, that would be ridiculous. Okay, my number 2 is world number 3, Grace Stark. She's a 12-21. That used to be like the old world record back in the day, like in my dyno years. Like that is smoking. And then this is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay? This is where it gets a little problematic in my head, and I understand what you're feeling, Aaron, because I'm like, why am I talking about this? Okay, so Nadine Visser is on a tear right now. World number 6, 12:28. But then you have Akira Nugent, the Jamaican, 12:30, who's proven under pressure in these circumstances she can get it done. And then you have The world record holder of Nigeria, Toby Amusan. Where is she? You can never find her.
Forget about her.
But come on, this is number 4 in the world right now, 12:24.
Yeah.
When there is something on the line out of nowhere, where's Toby? Look her. She figures it out. So like, how do you bet against the world record holder who knows in championship settings how to figure it out? So do you put a Nadine Visser over the world record holder? Like, I don't want no smoke. So I gotta lock in though. Okay, Masai Russell, Grace Stark. Backside. Nadine, Akira, Toby. Yeah. And it's the hurdles. That's all I'm gonna say to y'all, because you know I know. You know I know. So I'm gonna go Nadine Visser.
Okay. That's not a bad pick.
No.
And I just feel like in the hurdles, it's so unpredictable that you can't pick what feels the most obvious. Like Danielle Williams is a 2-time world champion. Where did that come from? You would have never picked her.
Never.
So I just feel like you got to go with the unpredictable in this event. That's why I didn't go complete narrative, because the obvious pick is Masai Russell. I mean, like you said, how can you pick against that? But I just feel like just weird stuff happens in this event.
Stuff happens. I just lost the hoop. Anyways, the show must go on. Aaron, you're right. We didn't get a chance to go to this, and we don't actually need to go to this, because for us, honorable mention, huge right now, 400-meter gold prediction. Ja'Cory Patterson no longer works at UPS. Brand new Nike contract. Friend to the show, trackside. Gold for Ja'Cory Patterson. Diamond League.
Okay.
Come on now.
Yeah, momentum's on his side, and I would love to see him win, but I got Matt Hudson-Smith winning it.
There you go.
I got Ja'Cory second.
I got Ja'Cory winning.